Hi everyone, thank you for joining another episode of Startup Talks. Today we have here Zahra Zahid with me. She's among the very few founders who have ventured into the fintech space. So Zahra, thank you very much for joining us here. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Timur, for giving me this opportunity. Like as you mentioned, I'm Zara. Right now, I'm based in the US, but I'm from Pakistan. I came here 2 years back with my husband, and that's where I got the opportunity to kind of like learn about different fintechs that are operational in US. And um, one of the famous one is Acorns here, which is kind of like a micro investing app, and it's for people who don't know anything about investing and they can basically start investing easily. So that really inspired me. Because I remember when I was back like in Pakistan, I wanted to explore easy investing opportunities, and back in my time there was no such platform. So I thought this would be a really valuable, thing to take back home. And that became my inspiration, and this is what I've been working on for the past 2 years. But it's not simply that. Nurture is it's tailored to Pakistani population in a way that um, investing is basically a very risky space. So it's not very easy for common people to venture into it, even if you minimize the losses for them. Um, so Nurture kind of like took that into consideration and developed a new kind of model, which we can talk about, later in the journey. But yeah, I think as far as my introduction is concerned, this is what I've been very, very focused on for the past 2 years, I would say. And now I think we are in a position where we are about to begin product development. We'd be launching our first MVP really, really soon. So really excited about that.
Okay, that's great. So I saw on your profile you've been associated with the FMCG in Pakistan for some time. I believe it's like 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah.
isn't that quite a big jump from FMCG to fintech?
I think even FMCG was quite a big jump because I'm an engineer by qualification. So, and I started off like my career basically took a very different turn when I joined Coca-Cola, because I was hired in as a as a management trainee in sales department. So essentially that's something I never like learned about in my university. But I think that very first transition, it kind of inculcated in me that cross-functional movement makes you learn so much more about businesses, about corporations, about processes, that I think if you just keep focusing on one field, uh, you might miss out on some very interesting opportunities. I think I was kind of like very trained in that way, because like engineering to sales, and then I did a couple of like roles in analytics and marketing. So I think all of that kind of maybe was preparing me for this jump, because what Nurture is also kind of like comes from my work experience. So it's partly what I was doing before, integrated with what I want to do now. So yeah, I think it's a jump, but I think it really suits me, because yeah, I think like looking back at my career, it has been mostly like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I saw on your logo you nurture. What is nurture then? I mean, your logo says it speaks a lot about watering a plant and the plant growing up. So
Yeah.
what's nurture all about then?
Yeah, I think the word nurture like speaks volumes about what it is, right? So nurture is a concept. It's creating that safe space for people to really thrive, right? That's the context that comes into our mind. And fintech products are mostly about like, they're very like finance heavy names, finance heavy, and very, very, what you'd say, technical in terms of financial knowledge. And I think that eliminates a lot of people to kind of like realize the value that product brings into their life. So Nurture is a micro investing platform, as we just discussed before, but I also mentioned that it's different from traditional micro investing, because it also helps people who invest money through nurture. It also helps them with a um, recover losses through kind of like exclusive discounts from our merchant network. So Nurture is kind of like an integrated micro investing powered retail marketplace. So it's not just that people invest money and they are left there. So Nurture monitors if their investments are doing well or if they're doing not so well. And if that is the case, then Nurture helps them modulate their spending in a way that they can recover any money lost in stock market. They can recover through extra savings on our merchant network. So when we integrate this financial concept and we kind of like realize what it's actually doing for the people, for our users, it's nurturing their financial health, right? So it's saving them from any kind of like situation which may be damaging for them. So this is what Nurture is about, and that's why I think we chose a very non-conventional name for a financial product which is about investing in stock market.
Okay. Now I know I know a lot about what you're doing through our on and off mentoring sessions that we've had for some time now. So for the viewers, how does this work? What does Nurture do? How does it help them save money? Because in Pakistan, options are a very, very risky business, and there are only two main categories of investments. One is real estate, one is the capital markets. So how does Nurture help them with the risks involved?
Yeah, I think so. I'll answer this question in two parts. First of them being that why it is important for common people to begin investing. When we talk about investing, traditional investing is kind of like framed in a way which by system or institutionally, I would say, eliminates over 90% of the population to take part in it. Reason being that it requires people to have like ample sum of money to begin investing, and then of course the risks and the technical details that come with it, it's beyond the comprehension of a common person, right? These requirements alone kind of make it impossible for common people to even think about investing. And capital market investing is important because like I did this research because when I was like working on Nurture, I was like, why it is so important for a common person to realize that they need to invest actively in productive asset. And the data is that for the past 20 years in Pakistan, average inflation was around 8% during this like annual on an annual range. The per capita income growth of Pakistan for these 20 years were 6%. So basically, an average Pakistani got poorer than he was 20 years back, right? The only thing in Pakistan that outperformed inflation was Pakistan stock market with an annual returns for the past 20 years of 24%. So now remember, like inflation was 8% annually. Stock market is giving you 24% returns annually. If in Pakistan you want to kind of like fight inflation or kind of like aim to be wealthier, I think stock market is the only place for you to be at. And now, why other assets are kind of like real estate, gold, why are they not productive? Like you look at historical data, stock market is the only asset or the only what you'd say investment platform that has given far more results or far better returns on investments than gold or real estate. And again, gold and real estate are very capital intensive investments. You can't really like buy gold for 10,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees. And similarly, you can't think about getting like investing this amount of money in real estate. But with new technology, you can invest or you can begin investing with this amount in the stock market, where it's providing such great returns. But the second problem that comes with stock market is the riskiness associated with it. And that's where I would like to now talk to people about how Nurture can help them there. Because a lot of startups are solving the capital intensive requirements for stock market investment. So I think all the e-trading platforms, micro investing apps, there are a couple, in fact, more than a few are now present and operational in Pakistan also, and all of them kind of like enable investments in very small amount. I think you can start as low as PKR 500. I know that there is an e-trading platform where people like kind of like begin investing with rupees 1500. So that those are very small amounts. But the next problem that these startups struggle with is the churn rate, because yes, there are high returns, or high profits. Then at the same time, there are like risk of losing money also. So whenever there's like a dip, and an average person kind of like even loses a small amount of the small amount he already invested, so he just gets discouraged. So yes, that's a very, very significant reason for people to not being able to invest in stock market. So that's where nurture comes in.
Okay.
Right? So we help you because like we identified, like I said, I think I was in FMCG sales, and I was very deeply involved with like retail system of Pakistan, how the profit margins operate on the retail side of the things. So I was aware of a lot of things that I knew I could use to help people recover that lost money. Right? So that's where I think nurture is the only solution right now which is offering this functionality, that if your money is lost in the investments that you do in stock market, we help you recover the same amount in the form of discounts or extra savings from spending through our merchants. And we kind of like partner with merchants who are offering goods which are like mostly in your everyday use, right? So you can kind of like, it's not that you have to plan that, okay, this is a very specific product which I can buy, so that only then I'll be able to recover discounts. We kind of like try to partner with merchants who are offering like everyday products, so you don't have to worry about that, like, again, there's no connection. How am I gonna recover my money? So that's why nurture is a solution which is very tailored to Pakistani population, that not only are we enabling them to invest in stock market, which is the best option to invest if you want to really grow your money, not only are we enabling that, but also we kind of making it safe, right? Safe in the form that you don't have to like worry about losing money at all. You know that you will get recovery in one way or the other. So yeah, that's why it's really important for people to kind of like think about this dimension actively.
Okay, now two things come to my mind. You are giving access to the lower income strata of the population as well, so they can invest in the stock market and cover their risks as well by way of discounts on consumables. Now in Pakistan right now there is currently a very hot scene going on, an underground scene which is not very much regulated, that is investing and trading in cryptocurrencies. And the second part of the same question is some leading brokerage houses, right? I'm not going to take names here, you know who am I referring to. They have come up with a mobile application and a very user-friendly system of helping people invest in stock markets. So how do you see yourself competing with them? What edge do you have? What do you have over them?
Yes. Okay, now talking about cryptocurrency. I personally believe that cryptocurrency definitely has a potential. I wouldn't say cryptocurrency, I would say blockchain has the potential. Yeah. And crypto being an investing asset, I think it's an extremely volatile investment. It's more about kind of like, I think I would relate it to what you'd say.
Personally,
a gamble. Yeah, more than an investing.
Personally, Pakistan is a too immature a market for it.
Exactly. Even in the US, I mean, like how Bitcoin varies every day. Every day, like there are problems. Not problems, like they're very different kind of like opinions that originate. So there is no one way of kind of like putting it or kind of understanding it as an asset, that what is Bitcoin actually and where is it going, right? So I mean, I don't know that myself. All I know is that yes, I think 2 years back I think 3 years back, I invested in Bitcoin my investment is so far like, I don't know, it's I don't know how much percent down. So I mean, I think it has the potential, but I think it's too risky. It's extremely volatile for novice investors. Also, like nurture, when we talk about nurture, we yes, we help all kind of investors who would invest with us with recovery of losses, but we are mainly about that lower or middle income people who believe that they cannot take that first step. We are that first step for them, right? So crypto is like far ahead. It's for seasoned investors. It's for people who are into investing business as a professional, right? So that's not our category. We might, but we do see potential in crypto in the form that not an individual asset, but if you include crypto as kind of like a in a portfolio, kind of like blended in with other investing products or other productive assets, and you use that volatility to drive the overall returns of a bucket. So definitely it's not as volatile as an individual Bitcoin would be, but yes, you can use it to kind of like amplify the returns in shorter time periods. That is, I think, one way we would incorporate crypto maybe later on, but not right now, because I think there's like a lot of pre-work that needs to be done before people are brought to that level where they can understand crypto and they can see the value in it, and they can see it as an investing or they can see it as an asset where they should invest money. Now, the second part of your question was that there are like number of other platforms are coming who are offering very user-friendly ways of kind of investing in the stock market. So how Nurture differs with them? I would again say that Robinhood is a very famous example in the US. They came up with an exciting business model. They achieved great success till I think this year's start, when basically their business model basically made them kind of like go through an extremely bad time, and that's still going on. So they went public, but their stock, they're already, which was actually low priced, it's still not picking up. And people, apparently, I just read it yesterday that their active user base is, I don't know, it's pretty like it's quite it has declined a lot, and so they're really struggling with that proposition. Investing solutions or robo advisors, which is the category that you're talking about, it's a very difficult business to be in, right? So because firstly, you can't really charge people a lot of money on the service you're offering, so you need scale. But in order to achieve scale in a financial product like this, you have to appeal to them in different ways other than just selling the story of easy investing. And even if you talk about like easy investing, I would again contest that you're excluding 90% of the population from that easy investing opportunity, because that still doesn't resonate with the common person. He's conditioned to believe that investing is not for him. So what is that one way to firstly tell people that it is for them? Then we can talk about, yes, okay, what are the different types of platforms where they can choose. Right now, they don't even think of you, or they don't see you as a product for them. So there is only, like in Pakistan, I think there are hardly 150,000 active investors in the stock market. They are the only ones who can understand an e-trading platform. They are the only one who can trade there. Even if you talk about, or even if you like start educating people on financial literacy concepts, they are so complicated that average people cannot really, just like learn about things and start doing trading. So it's a long process. You have to incentivize investing. You have to make it very, very acceptable for them, and you have to make them see it as a service, as a financial service which they can use to actually improve their financial health, right? So I believe Nurture helps them do that, because our narrative is very simple. We are not about like invest money, do this. We simply tell them that, look, you can increase your annual income by estimated 3% in 1 year if you just choose to spend if you just choose to kind of like don't like splurge spend, but kind of like use that same money to invest, maybe increase your income by 3% in this 1 year's time. And worst case, if you don't end up increasing your income, you will get some recovery in the form of discount. So you are safe in both the scenarios, right? that's the narrative that we see people are resonating with. And how I'm saying it, because we have been active on social media for the past few months, the response I've gotten so far is amazing. I'm really happy with how people are not only understanding what we're offering, but demanding that we give it to them soon. I am yet to see a trading platform or another micro investing app kind of like do that, right? And also like, because I've been doing competition analysis and kind of like research on all these like various platforms, even in the US, Pakistan, Dubai. Um, the problem is that these micro investing platforms, these e-trading platforms, they all are struggling in terms of their business models. They are not making money, they're not profitable, and they know that in this business they probably won't be. And that's why then later on they expand to kind of like different other verticals or financial services, right? And the other thing that they suffer with is very, very high customer acquisition costs. So they spend a lot of money to just get one customer on board. And that tells you that your proposition is not clicking with the masses, right? So for now, like, I am very confident that Nurture has solved that problem, because right now, definitely our product is not there. We have like a decent pre-registered, what you say, users. And although we have not like kind of like actively marketed ourselves so far, the only thing we do is that on Facebook or Instagram, when we run ads about our products, our customer acquisition cost is like really, really low. So that tells us, that gives us confidence that I think we have come up with something that an average people or an average person or a common people can understand and adopt, and that is what Nurture's advantage is over its competitors.
Okay. So what I gather from your argument is that the edge you have, sorry, the edge you have over the competition is that your value proposition is actually coming with value creation rather than going through the traditional route of just getting people to invest in stocks through the platform. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now taking things further, from an investor's perspective, whoever if they do get to see this, because I know that you are looking to raise some funds as well. You also tested it some time back.
Yeah.
How did that go?
So I think like the first test we did, it was a very, very rough test. So we didn't make any product. We just like created a WhatsApp group, and we told like I kind of like put a random status on my Facebook and LinkedIn that, look, this is the proposition I'm working on. If people are interested, please join this group. So like I got a really good response. Like around 100 people joined the group. In fact, more people wanted to join. We kind of like stopped it there. And then we partnered with like a few merchants, as like just reaching out to them on Facebook that, look, we have a group of 100 people. This is what we are testing. This is what our product is going to be like. This is the service we are offering. Would you like to partner with us? So few merchants partnered with us, because merchants, because they are the ones who compensate for the losses or who provides those recovery discounts to our people. So they have to like partner with us by kind of telling us that, okay, they are okay to provide like a discount up to 20% or 25%. So each merchant would tell us his range, right? And then we share this information on that WhatsApp group. We asked a very small base to kind of like put money or send us money, because money was being sent to our personal account. So we did not want to kind of like ask a lot of people to do that. So people sent me like very small amount of money, and I would invest. So I was basically in the US, so I would invest the equivalent amount in dollars here in a micro investing app, and then I would share this update on the group, right? And the proposition was that whenever your investment would go into a loss, these are the list of merchants. You can go there and shop for whatever product you want, and we'll apply that discount on your bill so that you can kind of like get compensated. So I think like the response, we did it, we ran it for almost 6 months. During that time it was a very good time, so stock market was like going up, so everybody, like all the people who invested money, they made around like 13% profits. A couple of them shopped from our merchants, and because their money was in profit, so we didn't have to even give discounts. So it was a very, like, I would say it was a very good proof of concept, because again, nurture is a very new thing, so it was a good proof of concept for us, and which led us to like then officially or publicly come come at the forum and create our social media website and start engaging with our people, which is what we have been doing so far. Now, yes, we are in the process of kind of like building our MVP. So we'll be releasing our beta version hopefully very, very soon. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay. So you are almost at the verge of releasing an MVP, and you've also tested the product. So how far are you into it? I mean, how long do you think you'll be in the market? How long is it going to take you?
Yeah, I think so. Probably we'll have an MVP piloted in next 1.5 or at most 2 months. Then we'll start, like, of course, then we'll have like we'll start getting like real signups. So we already have over like around 1,000 pre-registered users. But then with an MVP, we'll aim to at least get like more than 10,000 signups, so that we have that data, and then we can see, okay, if people are kind of like understanding the product, they're kind of like understanding the value proposition, how is it picking up, acquisition costs, etc. And based on that, we'll be raising basically we'll be going for a round. We probably at that time would go for a seed round. We are already in talks with few people for the angel round, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's our 6 months plan hopefully.
This is actually a very exciting time for your product, because e-commerce right now in Pakistan is booming like anything, and if you are here in the market, you will have a great deal of opportunity to partner with some e-commerce platforms like Daraz or Airlift and all those kinds of names. So
yes,
what else would you like to share? I mean, what's your plan like then?
I think I would just like to kind of like again address to the people who we are building this product for. I want to tell them that yes, there were times when you believed or you were told that you could not invest, and you missed out on like a big opportunity, right? So like I said, again, reiterating, over these past 20 years, chances are that an average Pakistani got poorer than before. So I would tell them that if they want to avoid this for themselves in future and for their future generations, first thing they must do is to learn about investing, right? And particularly stock market investing. Nurture just makes it like super easy for you, so you don't even have to learn about it. You can just like start. But it's not about us, it's about you, right? So we want people to see it as a very active element or an active activity that they should pursue in their like normal financial life, right? So it should be a must have component in their financial decision making. This is what I want them to focus on. And now I would also say that because you were not able to do it before, the onus is not on you. So don't feel bad about it that you missed out on an opportunity or you were not active enough to pursue it. It's more a result of system. It's more about like what I would say like institutional fault than yours. But the good news is that going forward, all these startups, including us, and there are like a number of other startups that are already in the place, you can avail this opportunity. Now there is no reason for you to not actively pursue this. So it's not about us, it's not about like it's not about business anymore. It's about how a common person should now make like smart decisions about money, because we all know that how our economy, or like even now, right, Pakistan, the inflation is so high, it's almost reached 9%. This is crazy, right? Nobody, like, you can't afford to to provide, or you can't afford to kind of like deteriorate your lifestyle
Yeah.
anymore,
Yeah.
right? So people should realize this, that the only way to fight this battle is through better financial decisions. And for that, they should make themselves aware of the opportunities available to them, and they should pursue them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing about your business model is that this, because it involves money, money of the common man, so it is very heavily regulated here in Pakistan. So, what are you doing about that? Are you getting into a sandbox? Do you plan on getting it on with SECP? You need a brokerage house as well. I know you told
Yeah.
me that you were in negotiations with somebody. You've got 10
Yeah.
minutes left, so just shed some light on that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, definitely we will be going for all the regulatory pre-work that is required for us to become functional. For our MVP, because we are launching it kind of like a it's kind of like a simulated app, so
Yeah.
no real money is involved in MVP transaction. So we are not, so we'll be going for that without acquiring the licensing. But before the launch of real product, we will acquire all the licensing. We are already in the process of talking to people who are in SCCP and learning about SCCP's guidelines about different kind of like financial products, which or the services that or the regulations that may impact us on the kind of services we are offering. So we'll abide by all of that. We might apply, and based on that, we might apply on for the sandbox also next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely there. As far as brokerage is concerned, we almost are like finalized it. It's just that we have to show the brokerage like our product, and the brokerage would kind of like um, discuss that with their tech team and figure out that if we can like kind of like compile them together, and then of course offer the final product. So yeah, at the back end, all the transaction will be processed by a brokerage. So we are not a brokerage ourselves. We are more of like an investment advisor for common people. Ours will just be an app through which people can begin investing, and our main job is basically see how their investments are doing and help them kind of like overcome any losses for our platform. So yeah, that's in the plan. And yeah, I mean, yeah, this is how we'll be like proceeding
Okay.
as far
Okay.
as regulatory front is concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one question, I've had a couple of startups on the show. One question I regularly ask everyone, what kind of help do you need from the ecosystem? Do you need some input from any place, any department, any person? Is there
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think like as a startup, you always need help, right?
yeah.
So you're always like struggling. There are like little to no resources at your disposal through which you have to create like meaningful results for people to really get interested in. So it's definitely a uphill battle, and any kind of help can be of use to us. I think what we want is me and my co-founder, we both like are outside Pakistan as of now. So our main goal, or at least my main goal actively, is to kind of like build a network there. I'm already like, I've gotten good response with a few people I am talking with, and I'm kind of like communicating with, but I would personally just want to kind of like build a network, so talk to people, tell them what I'm doing, and to find out that group of people who are interested in what I'm doing, and kind of like build that support system for nurture, right? And that support system could be anything, like people who are interested to advise us, people who are interested to invest with us or invest in us, people who are interested to kind of like provide us any other kind of like help or guidance in terms of like, let's say, legal advice or regulatory advice, and can help open doors for us. So we are definitely open to kind of like connect with those kind of people, happy to have conversations, tell them more about what we are doing, and everything. So yeah, I mean, anyone who believes that this is, or who is interested in this space, I would really like to connect with them and explore opportunities that
Okay.
we both can mutually offer to each other.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
since we are almost coming to an end, one final question. We don't see a lot of women uh, starting businesses in Pakistan. Pakistan has a population of over 220 million, evenly distributed, half men, half women. But we don't see women coming forward. Sorry. And to see somebody in the fintech space is really special. So, what message do you have? What new founders and women should do to come forward and take the leap of faith?
Yeah, I think that one message would be believe in yourself. I think as women, I think the general notion is that, and also I think women are also conditioned with this notion that somehow we believe that we cannot do
Mhm,
it, or
mhm,
we cannot take like risky decisions or big decisions.
mhm,
Um, well, I do agree that men and women have different strengths, but at the same time, I found myself, or I found my perspectives in kind of like different situations, uh, very insightful to drive great business decisions, right? So I would tell women to never doubt that your opinion or your perspective is less important.
mhm,
I tell you that what you can offer, and that like basic that what you'd say, intuitional insight that you have as a woman, that
mhm. Yeah.
is that can really change things. So people, men and women both, but women definitely more, because like again we are an underrepresented community. They should definitely believe in themselves, believe in dreams, be ambitious. I mean, you can be anyone you want to be in this life. So don't miss out this opportunity and fight for it. And trust me, you can do it. Like once it's clear in your head where you're heading to, you can do it. There's nothing that can stop you. So never let anything delude you from this ambition. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Zara. Those are some wonderful thoughts, and thank you very much for being here on Startup Talks. Best of luck with your venture, and hopefully we'll stay in touch then.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank you so much, Temur. It
Thank,
was a
thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.